You're listening to The Moose and the Loose, your 10 minutes action-packed financial podcast with your host, Mike Yahoo. Hey, what's up, Market Moose? Welcome to Business Friday. This week, I did a webinar in partnership with Dividend Earner. And I know it's kind of crazy because Dividend Earner also has a dividend membership website called Dividend Snapshot. So ironically, we are what we could say two competitors, right? So I have Dividend Stocks Rock. He does have Dividend Snapshot. I mean, we both have a membership and there is the word dividend in it, and we're both Canadian. So it cannot be more face-to-face, right? And yet we do partnerships. And I'm super happy actually to mention his website on my platform as well. Would you be surprised to know that I speak to not necessarily most, but to many of my competitors? And ironically, I would say that most of the time is to help each other. And we do that because I believe the pie is big enough for all of us. And competition is actually a very good thing. It helps to let consumers know about the market, that we have products. And like, for example, if we work together as dividend-oriented memberships, well, we're going to talk more about dividend investing. And if we talk more about dividend investing, it's good for everybody that has a service there, right? So the point here is to talk with competitors, share some tricks, share some strategies, and tell what works and what doesn't for you, and then you get back the same thing. And a lot of people will say, Mike, that is super stupid. Like, why would you give away your tricks, and why would somebody else would share their strategies with you? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. If you do that, you're going to lose people instead of winning clients, right? Well, that's the thing. If your offer, regardless of what you're selling, if it's a product, a service, whatever is it, so if it's good, if it's unique, if you have like your own color, well, that's not a problem, because what I offer and what I do at Dividend Stocks Rock is definitely not the same thing as what is being done at Dividend Snapshots or on the US side at Sure Dividend or Simply Save Dividend or my good friend at stocktrades.ca as well. We all offer something different. And if our product is good, well, what works for some of my members may not work for their members and vice versa. So some people will register to Dividend Stocks Rock. They will realize it's not a good fit for their strategy, and they're just going to move on to another service because their problem is still not solved. They just found out that DSR was not for them. And it's good for all investors, right? If you're looking for a membership, well, chances are you'll need to try a few ones to determine which one is the right fit for you, or maybe you're going to subscribe to more than one, which is actually another thing. It's like watching TV, right? You're not just going to watch drama series all the time. Sometimes you're going to look for movies. Sometimes you're going to feel like watching a comedy or action or whatever. So it's not just one of the same. Now, if your offer is not that great, if your product or your service is easily replicable and you don't have any edge or any color that you offer, then you have a problem. And then I understand that you are probably reluctant to share your tricks and to share anything with competitors, which actually is not a problem about competition at this point. It's a problem about your business model. It's a problem about what you do and what you offer. And you should solve that quickly, because if you don't, well, competitors are going to eat you up anyway. I mean, having a business is a tough game. You have to be competitive and you have to offer something that is great. And if you don't, well, you're not going to last long. That's unfortunate, but that's the reason why I keep on investing on the platform every year. I keep on trying different things, and I'm always trying to innovate for those reasons, because I want to be always one step ahead. And I know that if I don't do that, I'm going to die very quickly. So the benefits of sharing information with competitors, well, there are plenty. Like one of them that is like one of my favorite one is you get to learn a lot faster. And then sometimes not even related specifically to the business, but for example, like if I'm looking for like tips on how to hire someone, it won't help or it won't damage my competitor to tell me what worked for them and vice versa, because in the end we're not, unless you're trying to poach some employees, which could be too aggressive, and that would not be very cool. But if you're just like looking for ways to set up a framework where you can hire the good employees that would be a good fit for you, well then why you would not just learn faster by sharing your mistakes and sharing what worked with other competitors, right? The second thing is, of course, to avoid mistakes, avoid pitfalls. So sometimes I speak with people and they're just like, yeah, I tried this, it cost me $5,000 and that was a waste of time and a waste of money. Well, I'm like, yeah, you know what, maybe I'm not going to try it right away, or I'm going to try it differently to avoid to make the same mistake and avoid hurting. The other thing that could happen when you talk to your competitors is collaboration, such one that I have with Dividend Earner, or recently I've discussed many times on my newsletter the Canadian Financial Summit, which is not necessarily related to a competitor, but in a sense where you're like competing for attention. Well, I was super happy to, instead of talking about my stuff, to talk about the Canadian Financial Summit, because it's an amazing place where you're going to learn a lot of things about Canadian personal finance. So then again, that's another way to just create collaboration and making sure that the words is out. And one thing that is often forgotten is you don't feel alone when you do that. Running a business is a lonely path because you're stuck with your ideas and your problems, and it's all on your mind, and you're on your own island, and it feels lonely, literally, sometimes. So when you talk about those kind of like challenges or the things that you're super happy about with others, it just feels good. So I see that as more as a collaboration than anything else. Of course, like any other things, nothing is perfect. There are disadvantages of doing this. The first one, I've already touched point on this one, is maybe you're afraid of losing something. Maybe you're afraid to give your perfect recipe to somebody else, and then they're gonna copy it and they're gonna crush you. Well, if this is a source of concern, again, it's just highlight the fact that you have a problem with your business model. Of course, you can build a stock screener tomorrow morning and compete with Dividend Stocks Rock. I mean, it requires like money to be invested in technology, a good financial data, and that's pretty much it. But can you replicate the fact that I'm doing monthly webinars for my members and I answer like 90 questions every single time? Well, that's a lot harder. Maybe you can, but you can copy my perception and you can copy my style, though. You'll have to find your own, and you'll have to be able to be comfortable to answer live questions for 2 hours and 2 hours and a half and having a lot of fun with that. Well, while this is still replicable, it's very tough to do. And then you combine that with other things that we offer at DSR, and then boom, you have a great business model. The other downside is partnership could create confusion. Sometimes, and I get that sometimes from time to time, like members are just like, yeah, I received this offer from Dividend Earner or from another blog like $1 Million Journey or Dividend Growth Investing in Retirement. So do you own those blogs? And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, those are like partners. Those are like friends. And I'm not behind those blogs. So it could create confusion. It's all right. It's part of the deal. You have to clear it up sometimes and explain. So yes, you're going to receive email for that. And of course, at the end, you have to be very careful about your business model. That is the nerve of your business, is how you operate. So maybe you're not going to share everything either, but it's good to share what can help others. So maybe if you have like a complete secret recipe, you're not gonna share everything for free, and that would definitely make sense, but sharing is definitely part of my strategies. And so far, I have only good stories to talk about. Finally, I would say I've discussed that a few weeks ago about working from a place of abundance and not scarcity. And I think it is also true for your business. So if you do not work from a place of abundance, thinking that there's enough money for everybody to be made and that the solution is to help each other, well, I mean, it's just not like positive feelings. In my mind, I'm just thinking everybody is there to help people, and they have something unique to offer, and what they offer does not necessarily cut you off from offering something different that will help other type of people. And that's just the name of the game here, is to work from a place of abundance. So on those good words, my dear Moose, that's enough for today. I'm going to leave you to your weekend, and we're going to talk again on Monday. Until then, don't forget to stay invested.
Hey, welcome to the disclaimer. If you're listening to The Moose and the Loose, you cannot really expect me to give you buy or sell recommendation or financial advice, right? You're here for fun, you're here for information and some entertainment. But I am not your financial advisor, I am not your broker, so therefore I'm not liable if you're losing money after listening to the podcast. If you're looking for some advice, go see a professional. If not, you can enjoy the show and do your due diligence after it.